Welcome to another episode of the Smile Code, where we explore the pursuit of happiness, the cultivation of joy, and the radiance that comes from living in authenticity. I'm your host, Dr. Esi Quaidoo, and I am so delighted to have you with me, sharing a little bit of your time with me once again. Now, this morning, I woke up with a song already in my consciousness. It was as if my soul was singing before my mind was even fully awake. And what was the song? It was the great hymn, "Great is Thy Faithfulness." Now, when this hymn rose in me, it felt like a message straight from Spirit, a reminder that no matter what season of life we're in, there is a constancy, a mercy, and a provision that never fails. And so today I want to explore the story behind this hymn, reflect on its timeless words, and connect it to the Smile Code, the way we align our inner and outer life to radiate joy, peace, and truth. So what is the story behind the hymn? "Great is Thy Faithfulness" was written in 1923 by Thomas O. Chisholm, a man whose life was anything but easy. He was born in a humble log cabin in Kentucky in 1866. Now, Chisholm lived much of his life in fragile health. He never had a steady career, often struggling financially, but despite the challenges, he carried with him a deep faith and a love for poetry. And over his lifetime, he wrote over 1,200 poems. Now, this particular hymn, wasn't born out of a dramatic life event. It wasn't the result of some crisis moment. Instead, it was his daily testimony, a simple reflection on God's constancy in the ordinary rhythms of life. Chisholm wrote it to remind himself and us that faithfulness isn't flashy. It's steady, it's quiet, and it's dependable. And the music for this hymn was composed by William M. Runyon, a Methodist minister who worked with Moody Bible Institute. When Runyon, received Chisholm's words, he said the music seemed almost divinely inspired, as though the tune was waiting for those exact lyrics. And he was right, because together they created one of the most beloved hymns of all time. And at the heart of it all is a scripture from Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22 to 23, which goes, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." So let's pause and reflect on the words themselves. Verse 1 reminds us of God's unchanging nature. "Thou changest not. Thy compassions, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be." In a world where everything shifts, our circumstances, our moods, even our health, there is something or someone that remains steady. Now, verse 2 turns our attention to nature. Summer and winter and springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above. The rhythm of the seasons, the reliability of the sunrise, the steady orbit of the stars, they all testify to faithfulness. Creation itself becomes a sermon. Verse 3 brings it home to us personally. "Pardon for sin and a peace that endureth, thine own dear presence to cheer and to guide, strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow, blessings all mine with 10,000 beside." Here we're reminded of forgiveness, guidance, strength, hope, and abundance. Provision not just for the basics, but overflowing blessings that sustain us. And the refrain, the heartbeat of the hymn, great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. What a gift, that each new day arises with fresh mercy. Not recycled mercy, but new mercy. So how does this all tie in with the Smile Code, you might ask? The Smile Code is about living from a place of alignment where your authentic self shines and your joy radiates outward. And this hymn reminds us of 4 Smile Code principles. The first is authenticity. God's faithfulness never changes. In the same way, our lives become whole when we stop shifting to please others and stand in the constancy of who we truly are. The second principle is joy. Morning by morning, we are invited to joy, not because life is perfect, but because mercies are fresh each sunrise. Choosing joy is how we honor those mercies. Third principle is resilience. Seasons will change. Winter, summer, harvest, storms. But like nature, we can endure, we can adapt and thrive when we are anchored in to what doesn't change. And the final principle is daily renewal. The Smile Code teaches us that happiness isn't a one-time achievement. It's a daily practice. Just as mercies renew each morning, so too must our smile, our gratitude, our commitment to authenticity. When we embody these, our lives sing in harmony with creation itself. I'd like to invite you now into a short meditation inspired by this hymn. If you're able, please close your eyes. If you're driving, simply breathe deeply and listen with your heart. So take a slow, deep breath in and let it out gently. Feel the stillness of this moment. Imagine the sun just rising, the day fresh and full of possibility. Whisper softly in your heart, today's a new day. I welcome new mercies. I am sustained. I am loved. I have everything I need for this moment. Breathe in constancy. Breathe out fear. Breathe in strength. Breathe out worry. Breathe in joy. Breathe out heaviness. Now smile gently to yourself, knowing that faithfulness surrounds you. And let your heart rest in gratitude. This week, I encourage you to begin each morning with one simple practice. Before reaching for your phone or anything else, whisper the words, morning by morning, new mercies I see. And then ask yourself, what mercy is showing up for me today? Maybe it's the gift of breath. Maybe it's the presence of a loved one. Maybe it's the courage to keep going. Write it down. Breathe it in. And let it shape the smile you carry into your day. So dear listeners, great is thy faithfulness isn't just a hymn, it's a daily practice, a smile for the soul. Each sunrise is a reminder that mercy and love are already waiting for us. So let us live with gratitude. Let us radiate authenticity. Let us embody resilience. And let us choose joy each morning, morning by morning. If today's episode touched your heart, please share it with a friend who needs encouragement. Subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already, and join me in the Smile Mastery Inner Circle, where we practice these truths together. And as you go into this day, may you carry the refrain with you: great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, remember to keep smiling, to keep shining, and continue to keep the faith. See you soon.